Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew. You a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum. A gun that would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth. I had to make it clear how Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947, your menorah got 9 sticks, it's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs. Bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you live there. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. You BK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi why he give them babies herpes. I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'll punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ. They the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas. They're a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth. Niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4. I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I know the blasphemy of them, which they are Jews. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said.
Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, save facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see the rhythm in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Just dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through in the day of our king's reign. I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shemal Lam Hashem Shai to all the sisters. I'm preaching off 50. I want Yahweh to hold it down until also 1,000 year mark is ready. Of course, what we teach about tonight is the color of Christ. It's not what you believe. Right here with me, got Trooper Nadiyah. Can you give me Daniel 7-9 Bible shot?
Okay.
You have it, just read.
Okay. Like you. The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down,
Mm-hmm.
and the Ancient of Days did sit.
Okay. I bet as you learning right here, this is talking about Christ, man. You know, you're gonna go right here. You're gonna understand that we're about to describe Christ in general. Keep reading.
Whose garment was white as snow,
Mm-hmm.
and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Oh, and the hair is like what?
Like the pure wool.
Okay, that just tells you that that's the description of his hair. Keep reading.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and the wheels as a burning fire.
All right, so what you have gathered for right here is that it just describes Christ, that when you look at Christ, Would they tell you in today's America that Christ was just, what you see Sidja Bajir, which is not Christ, that's just an imposter. And what you see right here, you're talking about the description of his hair, is pure wool. What person on the face of the planet has pure woolly hair? It's only one person that identifies, one race that identifies with pure woolly hair. It's simple. Drop that. Give me Revelations 1, 13-15, Baba Kasha.
Yeah. Said 13 and 15.
Come. 13 through 13.
Start at 15.
13.
13.
Come.
Gotcha. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 13.
It's like it, chapter 1, verse 13. Come.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
In the midst of the 7 candlesticks, if you know anything about the Bible, these 7 candlesticks are just the 7 churches that were around during that time. 7 schools or churches. Keep reading.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
So this is just giving you the description of Christ, that he had a golden girdle on. Keep reading.
Verse 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool.
There again, you see that the description of his hair. It was white like wool. Keep reading.
As white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
But there again, you see the description of Christ is nothing like, they teach in America today, these Christian churches. They fill your head with, false ideologies of what Christ actually represented as what he looked like. Because as you see right here, it doesn't say anything about that picture that you see across America today. You reading?
Come. Verse 15, and his feet like unto the fine brass.
Like unto what?
Unto fine brass.
Whoa, that doesn't sound like that picture that's going around. That sounds like a so-called black man, right?
Yeah, damn right.
No sweat. Keep reading.
As if they burned in a furnace.
They burn in a what?
A furnace.
So that tells you right there the description of Christ. If you know anything, if you get a copper penny and you throw it in a fiery furnace, it's going to come out burnt, because copper burns. Just tell you the description of Christ is that his feet were like unto fine brass if they burn in a furnace. Keep reading.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
Many what?
Waters.
So it just tells you that he had a loud, austere voice. Very loud, like there's many waters colliding against each other, like much like a waterfall. So that tells you that the description that they show you in today's America, that guy that they show you, he doesn't look like he have a loud voice. Not at all. Drop that. Give me Daniel 10, 5 and 6.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lifted mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed with linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Ephes.
Okay, so you see here, it's talking about the description of Christ again, even further when it talks about even just how he dressed, his fine gold. Keep reading.
Verse 6, his body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire.
Right. Keep reading.
And his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
So it tells you that his arms and feet look like polished brass. That still again goes against what America teaches when they say that he's a so-called oppressor. Because fine brass doesn't look like an oppressor at all.
Right.
Keep reading.
In the voice of his words, like the voice of a multitude.
Right. So this right there, it just debunks the ideology that they just teach in America about Christ's color, his voice, and that just unseats that altogether. Drop that. Give me the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 5.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. And every one had 4 faces.
Right.
Every one had 4 wings.
So what we're describing here is angels. That debunks that, in America, they teach us that angels are little white babies that, float around and, shoot arrows and crazy stuff like that. But as you see, they had a likeness of men. Keep reading.
Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And their face was straight, and their feet were straight feet.
Mm-hmm.
And the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot.
You know anything about the calf? It's an animal. It just tells you straight up that, what they teach us in America is not right, because the description of angels according to the Bible right here in Ezekiel doesn't say anything like we've been taught. Keep reading.
And they sparkle like the color of burnished brass.
Like what?
Burnished brass.
Ooh. So isn't burnished brass yet again brown? Shade of brown? Simple.
Right.
Now, y'all, do you have anything?
La.
No sweat, no sweat. All right, drop that. Give me the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2, Baba Kashah.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2.
Right.
Judah mourneth.
Judah what?
Mourneth.
Right.
And the gates thereof languish.
Mm-hmm.
They are black.
They are what?
They are black.
They are what?
They are black.
Right.
Unto the ground. And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
This right here is speaking about Judah mourneth. And their gates thereof languish, meaning they are broken. They are black. Meaning that's their color of their skin, as into the ground, into the soil that you till out of the ground. And they're crying out. It's simple, That just tells you that this description that we get of who Judah is, the so-called, Jews, as they say in America, it's been lied to. They are black. The Bible literally says it. Drop that and give me Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5, Baba Kashah.
It's the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
I am black.
I am what?
Black.
You reading?
But comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon.
right, so this is Solomon. As y'all may know, he's a king. This is King Solomon saying he's black. If you know anything about the word comely, it just means beautiful. He said, I am black, yet beautiful. Keep reading.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Look not upon me, because I am black.
Because he's what?
Because I am black.
Mm-hmm. Keep reading.
Because the sun have looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me.
Mm-hmm.
They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyard have I not kept.
You can drop that. But here you see that Solomon is saying that he's a black man, yet beautiful. Simple. He also went and alliterated in verse 6 that you shouldn't look upon him because he's black. So that just tells you that the description of Solomon, he's black. Simple. He dropped that. Go to the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30. Baba Shah.
It's the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30.
Right.
My skin is black upon me.
Is what?
Is black upon me.
Right.
In the bones, it's like it. In my bones are burned with heat.
Okay. So what we have here, this is Job. If you know anything about Job, he was tested. You know, everybody knows that famous story that, you know, they tell us in the Christian church about Job and how he was tested. You understand that the description of Job right here, he's saying out of his own mouth that he's black. Simple. It just tells you that the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Native Indians, and Latinos, they're black. Drop that. Give me the book of Acts chapter 13, verse 1, Baba Shah.
The book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 1. Now, there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger, and Lucius and Cyrene. And Lucius of Cyrene, and Manon, which had been brought up with Herod and the Tarok and Saul.
So here you see that Simeon was called Niger. If you know anything about Niger, it's just Latin. It's where the word, you know, the profound word we know is Nigga, you know, comes from, but it just means black. It's just Latin for black. So it's as simple as that. And then you understand that, you know, Simeon was called that, so he was called black. Simple. Now you must understand that, you know, at the end of the day, the color of Christ has been depicted as many things, but the Bible tells you straight up that the Israelites are black, Christ is black, the angels are black. So it debunks the truth behind what America teaches today. Now you must know, with knowing this color, who Christ died for. Give me the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21, Baba Kasha.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son.
Right.
And thou shalt call his name Yahushua. Jesus.
Say Salaki for the viewers.
yeah, Jesus.
Right. Yeah.
For he shall save his people from their sins.
Right. So in that, you learn in this retrospect, and she shall bring forth a son. Talking about Mary. And thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people. If you look at the word his is possessive. you know, from our English classes that we have taken, you know, his just means a particular group of people in retrospect. Drop that. Give me the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5. Baba Kashaf.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Right.
But, Salakia, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. So
this is Christ speaking to the 12 disciples. If you know anything about the Good Samaritan law, we probably, you know, many people are familiar with that. That's where that word Samaritans come from. It was you know, basically Christ was saying, don't live like these people. That's all it was. Keep reading.
Verse 6. But go rather into the Salakia. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Okay. So this is Christ is speaking furthermore, saying that these are the people that you're here to get, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Keep going.
Verse 7. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Okay. That's good. Drop that. Give me the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24, Baba Kashaf.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Repeat that, Baba Kashaf.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent.
I'm not what?
I am not sent.
Right. Keep going.
But unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Of who?
Of Israel.
Right. So this is Christ saying that he's reiterating what he said previously, that he's not sent, but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. We're going to learn out furthermore who Israel is. Keep reading. Go to the book of, drop that, give me the book of John, chapter 4, verse 22.
This is the book of John. This is the book of John, chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship ye know not what. Salakia. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
So this is Christ. If you look at the KJV version, this is Christ speaking. He's saying that you know not what you worship. He said, he's talking about him, the 12 disciples, the Israelites, what we worship for the salvation of the Jews. He's just basically reiterating that he knows why he's doing the reason and why he's doing the work. That's all it is. Drop that. Give me the book of Acts chapter 5, verse 30.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 30. The God of our fathers raised up Jesus.
Raised up who?
Jesus.
Right.
Whom he slew and hanged on a tree.
Right. Keep reading.
Verse 31. Him hath God exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior. For to give repentance to Israel.
To who?
Israel.
Keep reading.
And forgiveness of their sins.
So you learn here that Christ was exalted as a prince and savior to give repentance to Israel. It doesn't say everybody. It says Israel. It names a specific group of people. Drop that. Give me the book of Romans chapter 9, verse 4.
This book of Romans, chapter 9, Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Who are Israelites?
Who are what?
Israelites.
Right. Keep reading.
To whom pertaineth the adoption,
Mm-hmm.
and the glory,
Read.
and the covenant,
Mm-hmm.
and the giving of the law,
Mm-hmm.
and the service of God, and the promises.
So this is just right here saying that, Christ is coming back for this. He said the Israelites. He said, who are the Israelites to whom pertaineth adoption and the glory and the covenants? Talking about the law, statute, commandments of the Lord that were given to the Israelites. Read verse 5, Baba Kushah.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came,
Mm-hmm.
who is over all, God blessed forever. Amen.
Right. So this is even further alliterates that Christ came for the Israelites, man. That's who he died for. He died for the Israelites. Read the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 26, Baba Kushah.
This is the book of Romans, chapter
Mm-hmm.
11, verse 26.
Right.
And so all Israel shall be saved.
All what?
All Israel shall be saved.
Right.
As it is written,
Mm-hmm.
shall return away Salakia. Verse 26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is
Mm-hmm.
written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall return away ungodliness from Jacob.
Right. But this is telling you that if you read verse 26, and so all Israel shall be saved, this is talking about Israel being saved. It don't say everyone. It says Israel. It says a particular group of individuals. As it is written, this is referring back to the Old Testament. That shall come out of Zion, the deliverer, shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. This reiterates that Christ didn't die for everyone, man. He died for the Israelites, so-called black, so-called Native Indians, and so-called Latinos. Drop that. Give me the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31.
Salakia, if I may.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Christians, they swear up and down that the New Testament ain't got nothing to do with the Old Testament.
Right.
But I promise they'll swear it on their life.
Mm-hmm.
But you hear it right there in the book of Romans. Romans 9, 4, Romans 11,
Mm-hmm.
and 26, right there in your face, that it says only Israel shall be saved.
Right.
It just goes to show you how childish and how childlike a Christian is.
Mm-hmm. They turn their ear upon fables.
Damn right. So it's 31 and 31, correct?
Fine.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel.
With the house of what?
The house of Israel.
Keep reading.
And with the house of Judah.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 20, verse 32. Not
Mm-hmm.
according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
Right.
Which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm. So this is Christ telling you that he made a covenant with Israel. He brought them out of the land of Egypt. Egypt just comes from another word, Egyptos, which means bondage or captivity. And he says, which my covenant they break, meaning that they, broke the structural, the covenant, which is the laws. Although I was a husband to them, saith the Lord. Keep reading.
Verse 33.
Mm-hmm.
But this shall be this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith
Mm-hmm.
the Lord.
Right.
I will put my law in their inward parts,
Mm-hmm.
and write it in their hearts.
So right here you said write it in their hearts. You see that a lot of people may think the actual heart, but your heart, when you read it in the scriptures, it means your mind. So you got to think about it. Your heart just pumps blood and it flows to your different organs, but your mind is what controls your thoughts and your actions. Keep reading.
And will be their God.
Mm-hmm.
and they shall be my people.
He said, my people.
My
You reading?
Drop that. 4.
So here you can see that, you know, Christ didn't die for everyone. It says particularly right in these scriptures that Christ died for the Israelites. It doesn't say that he died for the whole world. It says he died for Israel. Up and down the Bible, that's all this book is for, the Israelites. These are the people that are prescribed in these records, the chosen people. One second about this slide. Shalakia, you had any questions, anything?
At the moment, I just think about how I was a Christian, just how I used to be with them. So it just dawns on me a little bit more that I see the truth. Truth is a lot easier to see when you have brothers, you got priests around you to open your eyes to a lot of things that you were oblivious to that were written right in your face. That's sitting in that Bible on your grandma's dresser collecting dust.
Right, I definitely understand. And with that, that's class over the priest and officer 1,000 year Amak. Clap it up.
Can you hear me? Most High Christ. Hey, give it up for Officer Hawan, man. Most High Christ. Clap it up for the brother, the first time teacher. Did a Tawab job, man. Formidable job, man. It's a beautiful thing to see brothers come from out the world and to give their life to Christ, man, to serve the Most High, our King, under Commander General Yohana in these days, man. In these days, brothers and sisters, they give their life to go be drug dealers or to go be unalivers or to go be rap artists or whores or whatever it is. But when you see a brother walk into this truth and to take this path and to stand firm on this faith that Christ died for us to have, man, it's a beautiful thing. So I want to commend you, brother, for taking up that task. You did it for a Tawab job. I can't speak highly enough. You understand? But the water for holding it down for me. Now we're going to get into it, man. I know you brothers been going over some of these scriptures. If you don't mind, this is a heavy topic, man. I know for us in the UPK, color is like, the color scriptures is like, it's so cliche for us. It's so basic because when to be in the truth, the love for your people is so substantiated just by being in here that debating whether Christ was black or not really doesn't even matter. It really isn't even a mystery because we already love each other enough to just believe that these people were black, to just believe that these people were just like us. But these scriptures, man, these scriptures are real. They're breathing, they're living. And these scriptures give us the keys to life that the world could never give. And the color scriptures is important. If I could, just give me a couple. I got a topic we're going to, but you brothers, give me a couple scriptures that you pulled. I definitely want Revelations 1 and start at verse 1 if we could. But just find 2 or 3 more scriptures. We'll just go back over them, briefly, if you don't mind, Baba Kasai. Hold on, if you could help Nadia, but I don't know if he's looking at the scriptures that you pulled for him or not.
I got you.
I got Revelations 1 and 1, but I can go to Daniel 7 and 9 or Daniel 10 and 5.
Okay. Let's go to let's start at Revelation. Let's get there. I'm not gonna say the main one. All of these scriptures are main, but this one is speaking about Christ himself. This is who the world is concerned with. Who is Christ? What was Christ? What did he look like? You understand? And if you want to learn what Christ looked like, then you have to go into the book that teaches about Christ, which is the Bible. You understand? So let's read, if you don't mind, let's start at verse 1, Baba Kasai.
Okay, sir. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 1, verse 1. Mm-hmm. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So now, I started here just so we could get the context of what's happening in this book, right? What's happening in this book is we're about to get ready to unveil the revelation of Jesus Christ. So now that should end any argument or any discussion about what the context is. This revelation means to reveal something, right? And this is the revealing of Jesus Christ. Now you could drop down to verse 13. Also, before you do that, if you have any questions, whether it's on topic or off, just type your questions in the chat. Obviously, brothers in the room, y'all been rocking out. You know, you got any questions, just say Salakia, let's get it on. All right, Shalom, young man fresh. Shalom, most high in Christ. Let's see you, brother. But go ahead, let's get verse 13.
Verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks,
Mm-hmm.
one like unto the Son of Man.
Mm-hmm. One like unto the Son of Man. Right? This is talking about who? Again, this is talking about Christ. Right? Keep going.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Now, this man, when John was having this vision, right? When John was seeing this vision, he was seeing Christ. And this is what he saw. He saw one like unto the Son of Man. He saw Christ. And he was clothed with a garment down to the foot. Meaning like the garments you brothers wear that you see at the Passover. You understand that you see at the high holy days or the feast days or at camp. He had a garment on that came all the way down to his feet. It covered his whole body. Keep going.
And girt about the paps.
Mm-hmm.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
He had a girt about the paps, a golden girdle. What is that? What is that talking about?
Sir.
Mm-hmm.
A war belt.
It was a war belt, right? He had a war belt on, just like you watch the brothers put on their garments. They had a war belt. Why? Because back then, with their garments, without the war belt, when they went to swinging a sword, when they went to fight, when they went to battle, then the garment would start to swing and sway, and it would get in the way of them doing with their motions, right? So that war belt kept everything intact. It kept everything in place. So if they had to fight, if they had to use a sword, if they had to use some sort of weapon of some sort, it wouldn't get caught inside of their garment. It wouldn't get caught up inside the garment, on the sword, on the javelin, whatever it is. It would stay in its place tight around their body. And Christ had one that was gold. It was gold, and it was like a war belt that went around his stomach and through and around his back. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So now, right here, this scripture is talking about what? The hairs on his head and the hairs on his face. And the color of his head and his hairs were what? They were white, right? And the texture of it was woolly. Now, who today has woolly textured hair? Who today?
Like it, sir.
Mm-hmm.
A question for the sister.
You said we had a question?
The sister said, what did you say, sis? She said black people.
Black people, correct.
Right.
Black people, specifically, more than likely the tribe of Judah, tribe of Benjamin, the tribe of Levi, brothers. You understand? Not to disown the northern kingdom. Of course, there is no northern kingdom anymore. But I'm gonna get to my point. But just stick with me, right? So the Negroes of America would typically have woolly hair, otherwise known as nappy hair. We have nappy, dense hair. They make jokes about it when y'all ever seen the joke when somebody would try to comb through your hair and they act like they biting an apple? Yeah, not job, no. Yeah, right there. Like, damn, you understand? But that's the woolly hair that Christ had, and his was white. His was white as snow. And so, why is this important? Why is even just the hair texture and the color important? It's important because of this. Give me the scripture where it says they changed the images thereof. Right? Give me that scripture real quick. If you can't find it, I'll get it for you. But this is very important. Bear with me.
Sir.
Come on.
Is that in the Apocrypha?
Nah.
Was it?
Yeah. I think it's Job, but I think it's also one in First Maccabees. I think 3.
First Maccabees 3 and 48. Come.
Yeah, it's in a few places. It's not most of the scriptures is repeated in the Old Testament. It's said in the New Testament.
Right.
Some you'll find in the Apocrypha, but we could use First Maccabees 3:48.
So like I said, I don't have my Apocrypha with me. I have to use my phone with me.
Okay, no sweat. I'll read it for you. All right, this is Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. So what is this talking about? This is a phenomenon, right? This is a blasphemy that has happened during the what time? What era did this happen?
Like it, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Hellenistic period.
The what?
Hellenistic period.
Not just. It's another word I'm looking for. What era did this happen?
Like it. Grecian.
Mm-mm. Right, during the 14th in the 17th century, there was an era that happened. It was revolved around literature, philosophy, and art. Come on,
Renaissance.
The Renaissance. The Renaissance era. It was the period when European culture was able to thrive. Their art, their politics, their science. Throughout the 14th and the 17th century, they were able to push what all of their beliefs on the earth with their paintings and the Sistine Chapel and the Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo and Paleo and all of these artists were able to create history through their art, and they made their art to be so renowned. They made their art and their talents to be made so rare that even to this day, you would probably die. You could probably hit the lottery before you would ever obtain a Mona Lisa picture, before you would ever even get your hands on it. You know how much authentic painting of Picasso costs today? Millions of it. It's millions. You'll never have one. You'll never have a Picasso in your house. You understand? That is the rarity they put on these paintings that came out of this era. And what the problem is this: what they did is they took our figures, our leaders, and they painted them as something different. Not only just the skin color, but also what? The color of his hair. Wow. When you look at a painting of Caesar Borgia, we don't even have to talk about the color of his skin. Let's say for the sake of argument that is irrelevant, right? We don't have to talk about the color of his skin. We don't have to talk about none of that. But why? The question would be this: why did you change his hair color? Why did you change the texture of his skin? Why did you change that? You understand? And here's the problem: when they can't answer that question, then you found your answer. They changed it because they had to, because they knew that the hair texture that was mentioned in the records in the book, the hair texture that Christ actually had, was that of a black man. It was that of a Negro. And in order to paint this facade of a white savior, of a white Caesar Borgia or Jesus, they had to change everything. They had to change the way he dressed. They had to change the way he looked. They had to change even the way he spoke, what he taught. They had to change everything so that the world could believe that Christ was some different man. Read it again from verse 14.
Okay. It's the book of Revelations, chapter 1, verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eyes were as a flame of fire. Meaning what? His eyes were red. They were red. Flame of fire. You understand? Meaning what? That he meant business. You look at a brother and you see this old man with white woolly hair and his eyes resemble that of a fire. This man is no sissy. He's no punk. You understand? He got the flame. Don't they say nowadays that the way into a man's soul pause is through his eyes? Isn't that what they say? Well, if you wanted to see what was in the soul of Christ, you would look through his eyes if that's what they say, if that's what we're going with. But in his eyes were red like fire, man. They was the flame of fire. You understand, Nadia? Are you there? Or you having technical difficulty? I think Juan is gone. I might have lost Juan. Bear with me. I'll get it myself. Right? As a flame of fire. I'm going to read from verse 14. And his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass. Fine brass, like the brass that it's talking about here is like is clean. It's like a beautiful. You understand? When you talk about a fine brass, it's like a brass that doesn't have a lot of impurities in it, right? Like if you have fine gold or fine silver, it means that it doesn't have so many impurities, right? And so his feet was like unto fine brass, which is brown, as if they burned in a furnace. And so now the question is this: if you take a penny or brass and you throw that brass into a furnace, into a fireplace or a fire pit, and you let it burn, what color is that penny going to turn into? What color is that brass going to turn into? It's going to turn into dark brown. It's going to turn into black, which is saying what about Christ's feet? It's saying that his feet were dark. His feet was dark, darkened like fine brass burned into a furnace. Yeah, Khan says it's black. So not only was Christ a black man, but Christ was a dark-skinned brother. You understand? Now this is important. This is important. Hold on 1 second. Send link. Okay, no sweat. I'm gonna send the link. So Loggy, bear with me 1 second. Let me send this link out to the class, to the sister. Boom. Right now, this is important. You understand? Because if we understand what Christ was and who Christ was, what these brothers look like in the Bible, then we'll start to look at each other like we look at Christ. You understand? For our whole life, we've looked at Christ like he was some white boy. We looked at the prophets like they were. We thought Job was white, John was white. We thought that every time I thought of a prophet, I used to think of Nadia. You back?
Come, sir.
No sweat. Every time I used to think of prophets, I would always think of like some old white hunchback man with a cane that would like always live in the woods. And he would live in the woods and he would have this long gray beard because of all his wisdom. And he would walk around and like if you went to go sojourn, you would like stumble on him. And he would like give you wisdom. And that's what I always thought prophets to be. And so when that's all you see prophets as, then when it comes to being in the office of a priest or as a prophet, black people will never think to become that. We would never think to become prophets. We would never think to become leaders for our nation, because as the way we've seen the leaders of our nation as it pertains to God, we've always thought of them to be white. But now what if we see them and they're not white? What if we see that the prophets, and we learn that the prophets look just like me and you? You understand? Nadia, I think we finished on that. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Text coming through. Now, go ahead. I read verse 14. If you could, to start on 15.
Come. Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters.
And his voice as the sound of many waters, meaning what? The way that he spoke. When you heard him, he didn't sound like your Christian pastor, your modern Christian pastor today. He wasn't a soft-spoken man like Christians try to teach our people to be. He was very loud. He had a very boisterous voice. You understand? Like the sound of many waters. Like some people Some people will even attest that the scariest sound, they say, is one or two things, right? That I've heard. I'm pretty sure it's more, but one or two things. The one sound that is the scariest sound on earth is ice cracking beneath your feet. They say that that's the scariest sound on earth. And the other sound is the sound when waves crash rush on rocks. You understand? On the coast, when waters is coming and smash on the rocks, they say that that's like damn near the scariest sound on a face that you could ever hear. Well, Christ's voice was likened unto that. When he spoke, you listened. You listened because it was scary. Why is this important? Because everybody wants to be like Christ. Everybody wants to be like Jesus. But yet, when we go to be like Christ, we think that we have to be like T.D. Jakes. We think that we have to be soft-spoken, that we have to dress well and dress in a suit and tie and never get upset and never get angry. When this man is far from that, you understand? He's far from what they've been teaching us Christ was, you understand? Nadia, you had another one?
Book of Daniel 7 and 9.
Come on, we can do that one real quick, and I'm gonna get to my topic.
Okay.
Again, if anybody have any questions, type the questions in the chat.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
So now this is another vision that Daniel is having, right? And who is the Ancient of Days?
So like you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Most High.
Most High, right? This is talking about the Lord, right? Keep going.
Whose garment was white as snow,
mm-hmm.
and his hair on his head like the pure wool.
So now, even the Most High, right? And again, these are all visions. This is a vision that that Daniel is having, and he's saying that the Most High, you understand, his whose garment was white as snow, meaning that he had a vesture, right? He had a garment just like Christ, and it was white as snow, and his hair on his head was like the pure wool, meaning what? It resembled who?
Sluggy, sir. Christ.
Mm-hmm. It resembled Christ.
Right.
This is important. This is important because when you think of God today, who do you think of? You think of the white man. You think that God is a white man. There's I don't know if it's actually from the movie X. It might be. Actually, I think it absolutely is. There's a scene from the movie X. It's about Malcolm X back in the 1960s where he was coming out of being a drug dealer or pimp or whatever he was, and he was in prison. And he was taking I guess a biblical class inside of prison that he was being held in. And the white man was teaching about Jesus and how he was the white savior. And Malcolm X, he cut him. He cut him using the Bible by teaching him that Christ was a black man who had white woolly hair. And he cut him. Now, when you watch that scene, it may go over your head, but this is the belief that the world has about Christ and about God, that God is some white man with blue eye and stringy hair who love everybody. That is a major disbelief that has crippled Black society for 400 years here in America. It's absolutely crippled us. That lie that they put. Because when we believe that, then we believe that the same man who hung us from tree to tree, the same man who lies to us for decades, is the exact same man that's going to free us. That he's the one that's going to have mercy on our babies. That he's the one who's going to have mercy on our elderly. When he's the man who's unaliving us. He's the man who's deleting us from the face of the earth, pushing drugs in our community, pushing illegal weapons in our neighborhood so that we can continue to unalive each other. He's the one that does it. But the Bible, it makes it its business to describe who Christ is. The Bible makes it its business to detail what the Most High looked like. So now, where do we get this image of this white man with this stringy hair, blue eye come from? At some point, you have to wake up in the Christian church. At some point. And you have to start asking yourself these questions. Why is it that they say no one knows what God looks like when we're talking about the Ancient of Days right here? There's only one Ancient of Days. Ancient means older. It's older than days. Who is the only man older than day one? God. That's what we're talking about. And read it again.
Come from the top, sir.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Mm-hmm.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels was like a flame of fire, which is just like a nigga today. Ain't that how we roll? We want them Forgiatos with them chromed out wheels. We want the all white Maybach with the chrome. That's how we are today. I'm not saying he was rolling around in a Maybach, but I'm saying that his throne he had flavor. It was fiery, man, just like a brother today. But this is important because this is depiction of Christ. I mean, of the Most High. So we shouldn't deviate from what the records say. The problem is that your oppressor, he completely bastardized what the Bible said Christ and the Most High looked like. Give me the angels for Juan Baba Gashad. I want to break down the angels as well. Since we did Christ and since we're doing the Most High, I might as well just go over the angels real quick before we get my topic. Was that it on that, Nadia?
Come, sir.
And that's it on that. Let's go into the angels, man. Let's see what the angels. Since I got the shirt on anyway. You know what's funny, man? I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick. There's a sister that I know, right? Well, I knew that she lives in Durham, North Carolina, and she's like a Tawab, so you probably pretty beautiful sister, whatnot. Pretty popular. Brothers play football and stuff in high school, all that good stuff. And she started learning about the truth. I'm doing this on purpose because, of course, we know the truth is only in the Israelite school of UPK.
Yeah, right.
But she started learning about the truth of being an Israelite. And I remember sitting down as I'm literally watching this journey as she's like posting more Israelite stuff and this, that, and the third, and learning from IUIC and other fake Israelite groups. And I remember just telling myself, like, this is going to be enjoyable to watch. The rise and the decline of her love for the Most High because she's not being taught correctly. And a couple days ago, right? It took about a few years, but a couple days ago, she made a post on Twitter that said, I'm so upset that I joined myself to this community. I don't know what to do. Now, mind you, I don't know what that means off rip, but I have an idea. And today, she made a post saying, so we're supposed to get saved by UFOs out of the sky. She made that post today. And I couldn't imagine, like, the vindication I had, because me and her have gone at it. I told her that you was not going to find the truth being in some fake Israelite group. And she battled and it did the whole blocking thing. And this is why I don't mess with ISUPK and the One West doctrine and all that nonsense. But now here she is asking the question, pretty much being mocking the Most High, pretty much saying, and we're supposed to be picked up by UFOs. Because she doesn't believe anymore. She doesn't understand these records, man, which is why it is very vital for every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian to be in the truth. Because when you're not in the truth, you will fall victim to every lie like you've been doing your whole life. Your whole life, you fell victim to every single lie your grandmother told you. Your grandmother told you that Christ was in the Christian church. She told you God dwelled in there, did she not? She told you that, and you believe that too. You believe that there could be other denominations that also had the Lord. You believe that you could go to the Baptist church, you could go to the Catholic church, you could go to the Apostolic church. You believe that it didn't matter where you were, that you could always find Christ. But do you believe now? Nah. Now she don't believe that no more.
No.
She don't believe that UFOs is coming anymore now. She don't believe it. You understand? Because you allowed yourself to get tainted by lies.
Right.
That's what you allowed. Sorry for her. UFOs is coming out the goddamn sky. I'm sorry to say that.
That's right.
They will be coming. You understand? What that old song say? What it say? Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. That song is real. And we sung it back in slavery time because we still had an idea of the inheritance that we were going to get. We knew that those chariots were going to come down and those angels were going to fight for our people. Because if not the angels, then who is going to fight our oppressor? I'll wait. That's my favorite thing to say. You know how many times I've been waiting on different occasions, Nadia? I'm still waiting on Jehovah's Witnesses to answer some questions. But I'll ask you Christians, if angels do not come out the sky with UFOs to save us from American oppression, then who is going to destroy our oppressor? I'll answer that. Who's going to do it?
Slakia, sir.
Come on, you got the answer. Come on.
I think that's too deep of a question for them. I don't necessarily think they have. I don't think they have an idea of that.
Hey, listen, there's a point to this question. I'm about to free all of you to just go to the club every day. I'm about to free all of you from not smoking weed. I'm about to free all of you. Who is going to save us from our oppression? If it's not for the Lord and angels and UFOs cracking that sky, who's going to do it if not them?
It's like it.
Come on.
If it's not for them, it would be nobody.
It sure ain't the goddamn Black Panther movement.
Right.
It sure ain't the Nation of Islam.
No.
It damn sure ain't the Christian church. Y'all done had 400 years. Like, really, we be blazing on the Black Panther Party and the Nation of Islam, which they both are trash. But the Christian church, you done had the most time to gather whatever resources you was going to gather and fix the condition of Black people. For 400 years, you still ain't got it done. So it damn sure ain't you. Who else? The NFAC. It ain't you. It ain't the Bloods. It ain't the Crips. It ain't the GDs, the Vice Kings or the Vice Lords. It ain't you. Who is going to save Black people? Who going to unalive white people and set us free from American captivity? Nobody.
No one will.
Well, then hell, we might as well just get high then, Nadia.
You know,
We might as well.
might as well, right?
What's the point? What is the point of financial freedom? What's the point of what's the word they always look for? What's the word? Generational wealth. What's the point of a great economical program that's going to say, if no one's going to save Black people, then what is the point in trying to be better? We should all just be drug addicts. We should just all be drug addicts because we're done. We're finished. We're second-class citizens here in America, and we will always be second-class citizens here in America. Why? Because you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that white people is not going to hand over their power.
All right.
They're not going to hand it over. They're not going to say, hey, a random Fortune 500 billion dollar company pass over the nigga day. Nadia, man, you're going to come be the CEO of CNN. They're not going to do that. Why? Because that's taking money out of their generations.
Right.
That's taking money out of their babies, their grandchildren, their children. Now, they may make you a manager of Citgo, though. They may make you the manager of City Trends. You might get that.
Might.
But they will never pass over power to our people. So if there is nobody who is going to save us, then there is no point in us being here. We might as well pack up everything and just go do drugs until we're all deleted off the face of the planet Earth. You see how stupid that sounds?
Okay.
Now, luckily for us, I got something dumber. We got angels that's going to come from the sky and it's going to save us, man. And this is the depiction of the angels here. Read what you got.
Okay. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures.
So now, right, Ezekiel's also having a vision. And he's seeing the likeness of 4 living creatures. These creatures were living and they were breathing. And these creatures are the angels of the Most High. Let me see if I could show you something real quick. Let me see if I can get this on here. Let me see. Don't try to lie to me either. Let me see. Yeah, this is what I want right here. Hold on. All right, let me share my screen real quick. How many of y'all ever seen these depictions here? Sweet old baby, right? Sweet old baby angel. This one right here. Come on.
Some I've seen, like even the little statues that they have, even down to the so-called sanctuaries that they build, they would have the angel there with the male body part, his genitals connected to the statue.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, all of that is a lie. You understand? All of that is false. It is a false makeup of what an angel actually is. But we are going to read what angels actually are. You understand? Read what you got.
This book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And this was their appearance.
And this was their appearance. Again, just like Christ, just like God, we don't have to make up our own appearance. We can read what the Bible says they look like. Read what you got. You said we had what? What?
Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 5.
Go ahead.
They had the likeness of a man.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6.
They had the likeness of a man, meaning when you looked at him from afar, you seen what? 2 arms, 2 legs, a torso, a head. They had the likeness of a man, kind of like, how many of y'all ever seen Jeepers Creepers?
Right.
I mean, was Jeepers Creepers a man?
No, he looked like it though.
But he looked like a man from afar off.
Right.
You seen him, he looked like a man, got a hat on and everything. But Jeepers Creepers was no man. All right, keep going.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone had 4 faces.
And everyone had 4 faces, meaning what? What does that mean?
It means that he had, this creature, this angel had more than 1 face, so it's like he was like a monster almost.
Break it down though. Remember, 1 face was of a man, 1 face was of a lion, 1 face was of an ox, and the other face was of an eagle. But what does that mean that every one of these have 4 faces?
Salagi, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but in something that I guess my carnal thoughts would say that the Most High is always watching you, no matter, it could be an animal or a person. This animal can come in all different forms. This is just my carnal thought of it.
I get what you're saying, but nah, this is literal. This isn't figurative. This thing has 4 faces.
I agree. It's just that when people say, as far as the Most High is always watching you, so they would say, oh, no matter what, no matter what it is, really, basically.
It's a lot of
Come on, Juan.
I get what you're saying, Nadia. They always say that he's omnipresent.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But remember, we're talking about the appearance of this angel. Remember, let's stick there. But this angel having 4 faces, how did it have 4 faces? Where were these faces at?
Like,
I'll break it down. Go ahead. You want to take a shot?
On his body?
No, they was on his. Just think about like right now. If I have 4 faces, right? Just imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, how does he have these 4 faces?
It's like around the corners of his head, so it'd be one here.
That's what most people would think.
Yeah.
That's what most people would think. They would think he has a human face, then here he has a face of an eagle, here the face of an ox, and here the face of a lion. Right?
So
That's not the angel. Come on now, Juan.
Kind of like Spy Kids. If you ever seen Spy Kids, when then different creatures had like different faces.
Yeah, but it would be like that. It would be more or less like Riddick. Have you ever seen Riddick? Remember the Riddick where he was fighting those people that he was once with. I forget the Necrons. Those godlike people, and that man when he would move, when he would look at you, it was almost like a blur. And his face would change. When he looked, I wish I could pull it up on the screen. But when he looked at you, it was like his face changed into something else, and then it was his face again. That is the 4 faces that these angels had. Meaning when they looked at you, you would see an ox, but then you would see a man, but then you could also see a lion or something else. Their face would transform into something different. You understand? And these were the angels. Keep going.
Right. And everyone had 4 wings.
And everyone had 4 wings. Keep going.
Verse 7. And their feet were straight feet. And the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot.
So now, like a cow, the sole of a cow's foot, that's what their feet were like. Now, remember them angel babies. I don't know if them angel babies got calf feet on. Nah, it didn't seem like that. But these angels did. Keep going.
And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. You understand? Meaning what? That they were what color?
Black.
Right. Mm-hmm. They were brown. You understand? They were brown. They were burnished. It's like burnished is like polished it's polished. Like they shine. Like you polish some brown shoes or polish some brass, and it starts to sparkle. It's shining. And that's what these angels is like. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the hands of a man under their wings on their 4 sides.
Mm-hmm.
And they 4 had their faces in their wings.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. The wings were joined one to another.
Now their wings is joined one to another. They standing side by side. Keep going.
They turned not when they went.
Mm-hmm.
They went every one straight forward.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. As for the likeness of their faces, their 4 had the face of a man and the face of a lion on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
Their 4 had the face of an ox on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
Their 4 also had the face of an eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 11.
So like, and you can stop there. Meaning what? When they started to look, whatever side you looked on them on, their face would change. You understand? Into something else. And if you read down, it'll get to explaining that back down into like verse 23 and verse 24. Right? But we're gonna drop that because of the time. It's seen the time. We gotta get into my topic. Right? What's on the news right now? What's going crazy on the news today?
Donald Slugger, sir. Donald Trump was spared in my eyes, but he was shot.
What did you say?
He in my eyes, he was spared. I just feel like the person should have he should have worked on his aim before he decided that.
Oh man, yeah, man, you don't like old Donald Trump, man?
I don't like no oppressor.
I'm not gonna say that the brother should have hit him. I don't know what the stance. But Donald Trump was, as far as they said, someone attempted to assassinate him. Now, whether it's real, whether it's fake, I don't really know. But honestly, obviously we don't give a damn because it has nothing to do with black people. Yeah. However, this is an important time because a lot of things like this happen to do what a lot of times. Let's say like this is not real. Let's say this was staged and it was fake. Or even if it's not staged and it was real and the shooter did miss, what will this event be used for? Come on, Nadia.
Publicity. It's not necessarily a publicity stunt, but to boost his basically his following.
Yeah. The sister said it's going to boost the election. Race is a possibility of getting elected.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else?
All right. So, like, I was going to say the same thing. It's going to raise his voters. That's all it is.
Okay. To raise the push for the election, to get them more votes, right? These type of stunts is used to persuade men into action, to persuade you of something, to convince you of something. This is going to make people vote for Donald Trump. Why? Because they'll say that he is the great white hope, that Donald Trump was almost made a martyr, and that he is the person that the devil does not want to be in office. They'll say that. They'll say that he's the person we need, which is why they tried to take him out. The government tried to take him out because he's really who America needs. A bunch of black people would say that. A bunch of black people are idiots. They don't know. Come on out there.
I even seen one Jake. He posted on his gun. He was like, "I dare you, one of you, basically daring anybody to mess with Donald Trump, or he coming after him, or we going hard for Trump. You do anything to him, gonna do something to you." Yeah. I don't know.
Forget about it.
That's
about it. Black people have a known history of wanting to defend their oppressor. They have a known history of doing it, which is why we wanted to fight to be inside of the World War II. We wanted to fight to be a part of the Civil War. We wanted to fight to be a part of the Vietnam War. We wanted to fight in every goddamn war that did nothing to liberate black people. Because whenever somebody hurts our oppressor, we want to fight against that person. You understand? Let somebody take a shot at Joe Biden. Black people are going to be doing the same thing, trying to fight whoever it was that shot at Joe Biden. Meanwhile, it's his uncle who did it. Meanwhile, it's his cousin who did it. That's an interior family matter, but yet we want to stick our nose in it. But when it comes down to the Bloods and the Crips unaliving each other, we don't want no parts of that. We don't have no solutions for that. We don't know how to defend one another, but don't let it be old Donald. Donald Trump get a shot taken at him. Ooh, we about to go to war. Why? Because we believe that that's our hope.
Like that one.
$1,200 a month. We'll vote for anybody. We'll put anybody in a goddamn office for $1,200 a month. That's how little black people have become. You understand? But it's no sweat. We're going to break it down. Give me Deuteronomy 17 and verse 15. Right, we're going to go into voting and why you should not vote. Voting for Donald Trump makes you an idiot. Voting for Joe Biden makes you an idiot. Voting for whoever the hell you voted for makes you an idiot, and it makes you a leader for no people. You understand? Because it's a dumb concept. Like look, if we had enough time, I could break this down to you I'll take the UPK hat on. I'll put on the social work major who had to study political science 2 years and got the rundown on why politics is as dog water. I'll break it down for you how it does not make no sense in America. In America, you are forced to vote either Democrat or Republican because any other party is pretty much wiped out because the majority votes go to Democratic or Republican. Go to a different country though. Do y'all realize that the voting system in America is not the same as other countries? Do y'all know that? Not y'all.
Come.
Do you understand how it works in other countries for the most part?
Slovakia, I was gonna say that some of them like different countries have like monarchies or even dictatorship in general.
Yeah, some countries have monarchy, but for the countries that use a voting type system, you understand how their votes work?
I'm familiar with it.
I'll explain it briefly because it's stupid and it's important to know. Right? In America, let's say there's 20 people in all of America. 10 people vote Democrat, 8 people vote Republican, and 2 people vote humanitarianism. What happens to the humanitarian? Does anybody know?
Slovakia. So they're like the outlier.
What do you mean by
join? Meaning that because they're the outlier, if I look at it from like how the election happens now, most of them as outliers drop out.
You was almost on it with another word though.
Oh, they could join with somebody else.
Because if the 2 people who vote for that humanitarian, that's it, nigga. You just lost. You don't have no say so or nothing. You get no political power, no push, no nothing. You and your 2 votes are trash, and the Republican win with the 10 votes over the Democratic 8 vote. So now what most humanitarians would do is what? They would then take them and their 2 voters, and they would decide which party aids more to their belief. Is it the Republican or is it the Democrat? And if it's the Democrat, then they'll take them and their 2 voters and they'll vote Democrat. They'll vote Democrat so that Democrat can have a fighting chance so that maybe some of the humanitarian beliefs or politics or policies might get pushed during this election. So now, that's how it is in America, which is why you typically only see 2, even though there are tens of different parties, tens of them. But now, let's say you go to a different country, and a different country doesn't work that way. If you have the Democrat versus Republican, I'm using these terms just for the sake of so you can understand. If you have the Democrat and the Republican, and you have the humanitarianism and the scientarianism and the foodtarianism and the globaltarianism party and this tarianism party, if people vote for the globaltarianism and the humanitarian and the humanitarianism, so on and so forth, what happens at the end of the election? I'll explain. Even if the socialitarianism does not have the same amount of votes as the Democrats or the Republican, they still get a social construct to push their policies. They get a certain level of like electoral votes to push what they need in place for the voters that voted for them. They have somewhat of a fair justice system. It's all nonsense, it's all crazy, but if you do the studying, it makes America look terrible. It makes America look like it's absolutely not run by the people whatsoever. You want to know what's funny? Because it isn't. America is not run by the people. You think that America is home of the free, home of the brave, home of the liberated. You are slaves in America. Even your white counterpart is a slave damn near in America when it comes to voting. Who remembers the Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton election? Who remembers it? Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, did she not?
Right.
I remember it like it was yesterday. We was in North Carolina Central in the little audit in the student union, and we remember Hillary Clinton won. She won it, and guess what? Because of the electoral vote, they gave it to Donald Trump. You know why? Because they had the power to do so. Your vote does not matter, dumb. Like, this is the dumbest thing ever. You believe that, like, do black people believe that if everybody votes for Joe Biden, that means Joe Biden wins? Is that what people believe?
So like it, man. Like it. So that's, the sad thing about that is like how we were taught electoral college in high school.
I ain't gonna hold, not y'all, Salaki, not you two, but you idiots out there. Not to cut you off, but y'all are dumb. Y'all are stupid. But go ahead, Juan. Go ahead.
It's so heavy that you bringing out the electoral college vote because we were taught that in school, and everybody passed that class. And being that now everybody thinks that after graduation that you can just have a popular vote and get a president, it's pure ignorance.
Come on, brother. Let's see something. 1 second. Which state has the most electoral votes? California. California has 54 electoral votes. Hold on 1 second. One second right here. Can someone guess how many black people live in California? Someone guess?
I'll say select it, sir. I'll say 5 to 10 million.
Damn. No, not that much. But 2.2 million black people live in California, in the state of California. California has 54 electoral votes. You know what this means, right? That 54 people who I'm sure are not black, the majority of them are not black, are going to vote on the President of the United States on behalf of 2.2 million black people who live. And that's not including Hispanics. That's just black.
Okay.
That's not even including the Haitians or the Jamaicans, because that's how they separate us. That is just the Negroes in California. And they're going to speak on our behalf. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to tell you that Donald Trump is the president regardless if you voted for Hillary Clinton or not. That's what they're going to do. Because it's based off of population of state. That is how your presidency is picked, dumb. It has nothing to do with your black behind going to some damn slave poll. You wasted your time that Thursday morning going to that damn poll to put somebody's name. I can't wait for the day somebody put my name on the poll. That would make more sense. That would make more sense to go to the poll and just put on the goddamn thing other and put Yaramak. Just put that up there. That would be more betterment of your use of your time than to go vote for Donald Trump or Joe Biden, because no one gives a damn about your vote. Nobody does. Nor does the Most High. Give me the scripture I asked for.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee.
Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee. What does that mean? What is it talking about?
Like it, sir.
Come on.
It's talking about not setting anyone before God.
Say that one more time.
It's talking about not setting anyone before the Yahushua.
No, you absolutely. There will always be someone that is before the Most High.
Oh God.
Right?
Like it, sir.
I help you out. Read a verse above, Salaki. This will help you out.
Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
When thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee,
Mm-hmm.
thou shalt possess it.
Mhm.
Thou shalt dwell therein.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt say, I will set a king over me, like
Mhm.
as all the nations that are about me.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee,
Mm-hmm.
whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
So what is he saying?
So like
What is Most High saying? Come on.
you're not in a position to pick your own king. The Lord will pick the king for you.
That's it.
That right.
Meaning you're not gonna go and vote. You're not gonna go and just choose who you want to be king over you because you like how he talk, because you like how he dress. Do you think Moses could have been president of the United States with that stuttering problem that he had? No. Nobody would have chose Moses because he can't talk. But the Lord chose him. You understand? That's what this is talking about. You do not pick for a man to be over you. The Lord will choose for you.
So like it, sir.
Come on, Juan.
If you actually read even further, it says, one from among thy brethren shall
Get there. Don't jump the gun. I've been doing this for some time, my brother. Stay with me. I'm gonna get there.
Oh God.
I'm just setting the record straight. I'm gonna trust me. I'm gonna close the coffin shut. But he lay the padding. Lay the padding, make it nice and comfortable for you. You understand? Put you up in there. But you should not set no man. Why? Because you don't have the authority to do so. What do you think? You think that you have the knowledge to rule a nation? You got so much knowledge to rule a nation that you got to pick somebody else to do it other than yourself. Now make that make sense. It doesn't. You don't know anything. So you should let the Lord choose for you. Read, come on with it. Read verse 15.
Come. Verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren.
One from who?
Thy brethren.
Donald Trump.
Thy brethren.
Joe Biden.
From among thy brethren.
Now, a lot of times when they use the word neighbor in the Bible, you try to say neighbor means everybody. What does brethren mean?
Salaya, sir. Those are your kin. Same flesh, bone of my bone.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that this can't just mean the person who lived beside me. Your brethren is that of your flesh, your people. So if they're not of your people, then how are you going to vote for them to be over you? How does that even make sense to you, you dummy? If you vote, you are a dummy. That, you know what? I ain't ever thought about it. We should have camp outside of a voting booth one day. This got to be the dumbest place to have camp at, because y'all are some idiots. Damn, y'all are stupid, man. But we have to wake up. Come on with it. Keep going.
So like I said, I was just about to say.
That's on 15?
Lie, sir. That's not all.
Come on.
One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brethren.
That's it. It says, thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. You understand? Why? Because that person will lead you astray. That person will not have the interest of the Lord's people at hand, at heart. That person is going to use them for filthy lucre's sake. That person is going to use them to get rich. You understand? That's all he's going to want to do. You understand? Keep going. Verse 16. Let's go.
Verse 16. But he shall not multiply horses to himself.
Now this is talking about
the people to return to Egypt.
Who is this talking about? The king, right?
Okay.
This is talking about the king. Now, why is it saying the king shall not multiply horses to himself?
Salaki, sir.
Mm-hmm.
To remember that he's just like them. He's not. Well, in this order, there's a rank, but he's Salaki, sir.
He's not just like them.
Well, I was basically
Mm-hmm.
He's over them, but he has to remember that he's still one of them.
He's one of them, but he doesn't want to abuse the people. You don't want to abuse the power that the Lord gave you to take riches for yourself. There's no sweat for him having horses, but he wants the whole damn barn of horses. He wants the whole herd all to himself, that the people have nothing. Keep going.
To the end that he should multiply horses.
You missed the part.
Sir. Nor cause the people to return to Egypt.
Nor cause the people to return to Egypt. You voting for these Jesse Jacksons and these whatever black people you voting for, these politicians, and they are causing you to return to Egypt. That's where they want you to go, because the more and more they bring back to Egypt, the more rich they get. You understand why? Because their political power is in this rulership. Their political gain is in democracy. That's where their political gain is, and democracy reigns rampant where? In America. So as long as America stands, they'll get their gain off of making you slaves under America, which is why the Israelite School of UPK, Commanding General Yohana is the leader of black people. Commanding General Yohana doesn't get his power from democracy. He doesn't get his power from political powers. He's not no Republican or no Democrat. Commander General Yohana gets his power when UFOs crack the sky and Christ puts America to death. That's how Commander General Yohana gets his power. And the captains and generals and officers and troopers in this school, that's how we'll gain power over politics, over your lies, over religion. We'll gain our power when this kingdom ends. That's the leader you should listen to. That's the leader you should follow, because any other leader, you always would be a second-class citizen, no matter what power you think you have, no matter what rights you think you've gained, no freedom you think you've obtained in this place. You'll never be liberated until the people who enslaved you are under your foot or non-existing. One or the other. The Bible says the thing of tables, the things, I'm paraphrasing, the things turn upside down. That has to happen for your people to be liberated. And for that to happen, the leaders of our people should not return us to Egypt or return us to America. Keep going.
For as much as the Lord have said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way.
Mm-hmm. Verse 17. I'm reading this for a reason. Get this out the way.
Verse 17. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself.
Now, this is still talking about who?
The king, sir.
This is talking about that king, right? Just to put it in context for those who try to use the scripture about multiple wives, it's not even talking about the common person. This is talking about specifically the king, but nonetheless, we can still use it. Neither shall he multiply wives unto himself. Keep going. Oh, well, no, Salaki. Hold on. What does that mean, Salaki?
Salaki, sir.
Hold on. Is there a delay, Nadia? It might be a delay.
Salaki, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Is it? You can hear me?
Come, sir. I can hear you clear.
All right, no sweat. Go ahead. What is this talking about? Neither shall he multiply wives unto himself.
So, like I said, that he doesn't basically take all the women from the people. In a sense, as far as the sense from the horses, that's just my.
Yeah, I was funny to just get a nigga turn the Casanova like that. Nigga just take all the women now, but he's okay. Not even just taking the women, right? He can he have a lot of women?
Come.
Can he have a lot of horses?
Okay.
So then what can't he have? Distractions.
Right.
He can't have distractions.
Okay.
He can't be so encompassed with horses that he's distracted with his people. Just look at any how many of y'all ever see what's the MTV series with the mansions? Tour My Mansion, MTV Cribs. How many of y'all ever seen that?
Okay, I've seen it.
When you read this scripture, just think of them. Think of them when they're saying, "Oh, come into my crib. Yeah, I got the diamond chandelier. Yeah, I got 20 Rolls Royces, man, and 12 Lamborghinis, and I got this, that, and the third, and I got this, that, and the third, and this, that, and the third." Meanwhile, there are hundreds of thousands of brothers in his city star.
Right.
Remember that. There's nothing wrong with having nice things. There's nothing wrong with having good things you worked for, you earned it, you can enjoy yourself. But when it becomes such a distraction that you lose focus on your people as a leader, you lose focus on those who need you, who look up to you, who cry out for your help every single day, that is where you're falling. And women is no other way. And a lot of you brothers, you'll experience this in the truth. You'll think that having women is no problem. No sweat. You got 12 women, no effing sweat. Be at fucking camp though. Be there.
Yeah, right.
And then you'll start to see why having so many women becomes a problem. Because they're going to want you to beware. They're going to want you to be with them. They're going to want you to stay with them, but yet you got to go to the cookout and be with the brothers. You got to go to camp and be with the brothers. You got to go to the food drive and save the people. You got to do the felony expungement and save the people because you're a leader, because you're a ruler in this earth fighting for rulership. You're fighting for it every single day, but yet you have horses and you have women. There's nothing wrong with having horses or women, but what you cannot have is a distraction. So you know what you have to tell that woman? You have to tell her to shut her mouth while you go to camp, to shut her mouth while you go to Alabama, while you go to Detroit, while you go to New York or Austin, Texas, or Southern California, or wherever the hell Captain Ithak sends us, or Commander General Yohana sends us. You're going to have to tell her to shut her mouth while you go do it. Because even though you love her, and even though she got them thing that you love, she got it, don't she? I know she got it. She make you stay home in a quick second. Just like getting that Rolls Royce or that Mustang. Them nice things that you got. It'll make you stay home in a second. But she cannot become a distraction. Right. Neither can those horses. Neither can that money, that job, that fame, that rap career, that art career, that whatever thing you're trying to chase that distracts you from saving your people, you can't have that and be a ruler. You can have it and be 50 Cent, though. You can be him. You can be Puff Daddy. You can be him. You could be TD Jakes. You can be Creflo Dollar. You could be a politician. You could be all of those things. And you could go into every slutty whorehouse you want to, have every whore you want, have every car you want. Don't worry about no brother. And you can live the most lavish life you've ever lived. But you want to rule and be responsible for men, your people, then like you can't have no distractions, all right?
Yeah, right.
Talking about trying to, I can't go to, I gotta be a football player, I gotta be a rapper, I gotta do this. No, you can't do that. You gotta set that to the side. We got work here. You understand? Remember, Christ said this. Christ said, when you see me, you see the Father, because he about his Father's business.
Right.
Us in here is no different. Yeah, there's no sweat. You can have a good time. You want to go have a good, you want to take your rib on a date, you want to go to the Bahamas, you want to go to Maui, you want to do all of those things, man. It's a glorious thing for you to do. but don't let it become a distraction. Keep reading.
Concur. Lagia.
Verse 17.
Concur. That his heart turn not away.
Mm-hmm.
Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold.
Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. You chase money so much that you run yourself out the truth. You understand? At some point, you have to be less concerned with being broke. There was years ago where I accepted the fact that I was going to be poor my whole life. I accepted it. I accepted it. I don't mean you ain't going to see me in the club buying a bottle. I'm buying it. I don't care. I'm buying it for my brothers. And we're going to drink and we're going to have a night. You know why? Because tomorrow we die in battle. Tomorrow we go and we sacrifice our lives. And I'm not living to be rich. I'm living to get a crown, man. That's what we do. But if you're concerned with stacking every coin, with being rich, with buying Rolls Royces, then now I'm sure you'll protect your life because you ain't made it yet. You won't go to camp, you'll live so that you can get that big business deal you've been looking for. I know that there's some slavery out there. You ain't got a GED to your name, a high school diploma. You ain't got no football skills or nothing. But there's some job out there you just waiting on that's going to give you $100,000 an hour. I'm sure. Yeah. Let me help you out. Nobody's going to hire you ever.
Right.
Let me just fall in love with that. Fall in love with the idea that no one will ever hire you. You're going to be poor for the rest of your life. Now what? Now what? Because if Christ ain't coming back with UFOs and you ain't going to be rich, dummy, then what? You should just going to be a drug addict? You should just be a drug addict then. No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be a drug addict. I understand. Well, then don't let these things become a distraction. You come into the truth if you want to be a leader, and you lead, and you work, and you work, and you work, and you don't vote for no damn Donald Trump, because Donald Trump, he's more concerned with his Rolls Royce than he is with you.
Right.
I promise you that. You understand? Give me real quick. We getting over close to the time. Give me Hawan. I need you to jump in. You can read for me.
Okay.
I need you to give me Exodus 23:1.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nadia, I need you to get me Ecclesiasticus 34:1. Hawan, you read yours first.
Okay. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not raise a false report.
Mm-hmm.
Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an
Thou
unrighteous.
shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked. Keep going.
To be an unrighteous witness.
Be an unrighteous witness. What is this talking about? You shouldn't raise a false report. Put your hand with the wicked. What is this talking about? Who's doing this? Who's doing this? For time's sake, I'm going to give it to you. This is us. This is blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. We're doing this. We're raising up a false report. We pushing Donald Trump up as if he loves black people. We're pushing Joe Biden up as if he loves black people, and his report is false. He's lying to the people, and we know he's lying. That's the problem. We know he's lying to us, yet we push for him. We push for them to save us with their democracy, with their politics. We push for them to save us with their hopes and their lies, just like we did with Barack Obama. But we shouldn't raise up a false report. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
To do what?
Evil.
To do evil, man. It is clear that Donald Trump is an evil bastard, man. He's an evil bastard. And yet we follow the multitude. We follow the multitude, mean the masses of people. And we're following after them to them voting polls so that we can vote when they're going there to do evil. They're not going there to do righteousness. If they was going to do righteousness, then they wouldn't be there. But they know Donald Trump is the leader that allows them to do what? Donald Trump is a leader that allows you to smoke weed. Donald Trump is a leader that allows you to eat unlawful foods. Donald Trump is a leader that allows you to unalive each other and to use illegal substances and abuse drugs. Donald Trump is the leader that allows for your people to be homeless without putting no shame on him or his people for how they're running this country. Donald Trump is the leader that'll keep you oppressed, but he'll keep you comfortable in it. That's what he is. But we'll follow the multitude to do that evil, and voting Donald Trump in office is evil. Voting Hillary Clinton is evil. Joe Biden being voted in by our people is evil. Keep going.
Nita Shaw now speaks in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment.
Drop that. I think Nadia dropped, so I might need you to work double time. I need where was you at? Exodus 23. I need just drop down to verse 7.
Okay. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 7. Keep thee far from a false matter.
Keep thee far from a false matter, man. You understand? Something that's false. Something that this whole presidential election is a false matter. You think that this matters for black people. You think that this is important. You think that Donald Trump getting almost assassinated is important when it is not important whatsoever. This has nothing to do with black people. Would the outpost say to Ace and pay them for after he got shot? Niggas get shot every day, B. Niggas get shot every day, Donald Trump. You think this is important? You think you getting halfway shot in your ear is important? When our families get shot every single day by your police force, they get unjustly unalived. Every single day by the system that you set up, they get oppressed and killed, unalive, unrightfully. And you think that we're supposed to care about you getting the nip of your ear taken off? Try being a nigga for a day. You know how many bullets we dodged? You know how many death sentences we've escaped? But here you are, you run away from one fleeing bullet when there should be hundreds of thousands coming at you. And you think that that's something that's important to us. It should be nothing. Nothing. Read it again.
Okay. It's book of Exodus chapter 23, verse 7. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not.
And the innocent and righteous slay thou not. You understand? But yet these politicians that we're voting for, how many brothers and sisters are they responsible for unalive, for slaying? You remember the Central Park 5? Them 5 brothers who was wrongfully convicted, lives destroyed because of the lies of our oppressor, something that has been prevalent in the black community for 200, 300 years. Some woman lying, saying that our people are savages and rapists. And what did Donald Trump say about them young boys, man? He ain't had the Bible say this. Man, look, the Bible say this. He have no regard for the old or the young. Them boys was young, 13, 14, 15 years old. What did Donald Trump say about them? Not for a murder trial, but for rape, and rape is terrible. But that woman, she had her life. And I'm only talking about it this way because she a lying slut, a lying whore. So I'm pushing down her importance of her court case. I'm doing it on purpose. But what did Donald Trump have to say about those minors, about those juveniles back with the Central Park 5? What did he have to say about it? Oh, he said give them the death penalty, man.
Right.
He said give them the death penalty like they was nothing but roaches. Read that again.
Okay. Look at Exodus chapter 23, verse 7. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not.
Mm-hmm.
For I would not justify the wicked.
Mm-hmm. For he will what? For I will not justify the wicked, man. Mm-hmm. He's not going to justify what Donald Trump did to the Central Park Five, what he said about them. He ain't going to justify what he did, what he said about the Mexicans on the border. He ain't going to justify none of that. Donald Trump going to have to pay. Donald Trump going to have to pay for what he did. A lot of people saying that shooter just missed, or he need to work on his aim. I'm going to tell you something. Remember that the Lord raised Pharaoh up. He raised Pharaoh up just so he could show his power and destroying Pharaoh. You want to know why Donald Trump is alive? The Lord want him to be alive. The Lord want him here because the Most High is going to destroy him like the greatest cinematic event you've ever seen on the history of the face of the planet Earth. And by Donald Trump, I mean the white man, the oppressor. That's why he's here. You understand? And the Lord is not going to justify his wickedness. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 8. And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise.
You shouldn't take no gift, man.
Right.
What is that gift? That gift is that money. That money that Donald Trump claims he going to offer you, claim he going to give you. That stability that he claimed he going to give you. He trying to put padding down under the hardwood oppression you've been having to sleep on for your whole life. That's the gift he trying to give you. Why? Because he trying to butter you up. The Bible say that that out his words were smooth like butter, but behind his back was drawn swords because he's ready for war. But he got to weaken you first. He got to make you think that you on the same side as him, that he on the same side as you.
Right.
But he not. Donald Trump don't give a damn about you or your people. Why would he? He care about his sons and his daughters and his family, as he should. The problem is that we haven't learned that we should care about our own, that we should care about our sons and our daughters, and stop giving a damn about this oppressor and what he going through. The more and more that this kingdom fall is the rise of our people. That's life. That's life. How many of y'all went to go see the Planet of the Apes? How many of y'all went to see the movie? And you still don't understand the times? You still don't understand that they're like, I bet there's a bunch of people who just can't wait for the day. Right? This is black people. Y'all familiar with the Planet of the Apes?
Okay.
There's black people right now who they don't know if they're the humans or if they're the apes. But they hope that one day the apes and the humans can live together as one and go to Starbucks and go to McDonald's. What's the problem with that?
Like it, sir.
Come on.
Sounds terrible. Sounds like craziness.
Not only do it sound terrible, black people are so stupid that you freaking forget that apes live here with us today, but they're in cages.
Right.
They're in zoos behind glasses right now. But your love for equality will make you think that there's some chance that maybe the apes and the humans can live together. Well, if they can live together, then why don't you bring an ape into your house right now to live with you?
Right.
Why don't you do it? Oh, because what? The ape don't speak like you speak? The ape don't live like how you live? Well, the apes are different in the movie too, dummy. The oppressor don't live like how you live, dummy. He don't speak like how you speak, dummy. He don't eat the food you eat, dummy. So why do you think we can live with them? Why do you think we should vote for them when they not like us? They ain't nothing like us, ain't never been like us, and will never be. But I love, man. I love. Read it again.
Okay. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 8. And if thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise, perverteth the words of the righteous.
And perverteth the words of the righteous, man. Because of your gift, you pervert the words of the righteous, man. You pervert the words of the Most High that's being taught to you from the prophets of the Israelite school of UPK. You pervert it. You bastardize it because you so in love with your money, because you so in love with your freedom. You so in love with your false sense of liberty that you cannot see the encampments that are around you every single day. You so in love with the light of the air that you draw from your lungs that you don't even see the end. I see the end. I see it every day for myself, for my children, for my family. I see the day that our luck runs out from our oppressor. I see it. I see it every day. And as long as that vision is in my head, I can't stop fighting against this oppression, this oppressor. I won't stop fighting against this oppressor because I see it. The problem with us is that a lot of us don't see it until Emmett Till is your son, until Eric Garner is your son, until Fidel Castile is your son. Then you see it. When you should see it right now. Drop that, Nadia. Have you had something?
So, like, so what was the precept again? That it keeps kicking me out every time I try to open it.
Let's say. Give me Ecclesiastes 34:1. You should
34.
see it right now. 34:1. Ecclesiasticus 34:1. You should see it right now. Go ahead, Nadia. Have you got it?
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 34, verse 1. The hopes of a man void. Like the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false.
The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false. Right? Our people lack understanding, and we have hope. What was Barack Obama's slogan? What was his mantra? What was his word that he used? Was it change or was it hope?
I think it was change.
Was it change?
I think so.
Most High in Christ. It was change. Right? There was one president who used hope. Can't remember who it was. Let me see. Read it again, Nadia.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 34, verse 1. The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false.
So it was Barack Obama. Right? The Barack Obama Hope poster is an image of U.S. President Barack Obama designed by American artist Shepard Fairey. The image was widely described as iconic and came to represent Obama's 2008 presidential election. He used hope. You understand? Because that is what we have in the Black community. We hope so much. We got so much hope in our oppressor. So much hope that they'll change. We got so much hope that all of these things has happened. But you know what we lose hope in? We lose hope and faith in the Most High.
Right.
That sister said, so we supposed to, so UFOs are supposed to come out of the sky? Bitch, if they don't, then what does that mean for us? What does that mean for Black people?
Yes.
That means that we have to die? Because if we don't have hope in that, then we have reality of death. That is it.
Right.
The NFAC won't save you. Your grandmother ain't gonna save you. A lot of y'all think, man, that your grandmother gonna save you. You think that your mother, her loud ass mouth, Salakia for my language, her loud mouth is going. Your mother's mouth ain't gonna do a goddamn thing when the police want to unalive you. It's done. You better have hope in the Most High. You better have hope in Him. You understand? That's where our strength cometh from Him. Our help cometh from Him. It ain't coming from us. Like we ain't. I don't know what the hell we think we are, but we ain't that. Y'all think y'all be watching too much of what's that movie? Damn, man, I can't even think about it, man. It's one of those movies with that dude. He be unaliving everybody by himself and all of that. He like killed like 3,000 people alone. I can't even think of it. They made a part 1 and part 2. And at the end of part 1, He like went into the river, like he died off the bridge. Oh man, your power was in here, she know. But y'all be believing, nigga, brothers be believing that's them. Like they gonna go out and unalive 20. That ain't gonna happen. You better have hope in the Most High. You understand? Keep going.
Come. And dreams lift up fools.
And dreams lift up fools. You dream that one day. Nah, it ain't John Wick. It ain't John Wick, but that's a good one. All right, y'all believe y'all John Wick? Like you about to go outside and just. Hey, look, your neighbor is gonna unalive your ass real quick. You're gonna get shot by a sniper rifle. Oh, but they look, the oppressor has drones that's like this small that'll just go beside your head and blow your head off. Like you're not John Wick. You're not him.
Like one.
Come on.
In California, since they have like a really high crime rate, they have like I forgot the area that it is. It's like basically they put up a sign that says it's monitored by police drones. So they literally have drones watching you. So it's less likely for you to get away with anything, even if you think you was John Wick. You got a lot more stuff coming at you than you think you do.
Yeah, they also got politics that crippled the whole community within days. They also got that. You understand? But nonetheless, we have this hope in these dreams. You understand? For dreams have deceived many. It deceived Martin Luther King. It deceived him. MLK had a dream. Right? Keep going.
Come. Verse 2. Whoso regardeth dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow and followeth after the wind.
You're the type of person who you dream that one day that America was going to turn for namesake and be all inclusive. It's going to love black people. You understand? You are like the person who catches at a shadow and follows after the wind. What does that mean? What is the type of person who catches after a shadow?
Sluggy, sir.
Come on.
A philosopher.
No, I wouldn't say a philosopher. But what does it mean when you catch after a shadow?
Sluggy.
Come on.
Like chasing.
Chasing what? Come on.
Chasing something that's not there.
Yeah.
It's not something. Okay. Yes. You're chasing something. Can you grab your shadow?
Wow.
No. So imagine you seen a man outside chasing after the shadow. What would you say about him?
Like it, sir.
Crazy.
Come on.
You're a little off.
You would say that's a goddamn lunatic. Lunatic is like trying to chase his shadow. Like he is going to move every time you move, you idiot. That when you see Christians in a voting pool this year, just know they're chasing after their shadow. And they are following after the wind. When the wind is not there, it's not something obtainable. It has no destination. It has no place. Just as easy as the wind is here, it's gone. Just like your presidential election, just like your, give me the word I'm looking for, presidential election, just like your what in the black community?
Your hopes and dreams.
Your hope. Right. Just like your hope that was once there, it's gone. It ends. You understand? Yeah, correct. John, they just said crazy. Keep going.
Come. And follow after the wind. Verse 3. The vision of a dream, it's like the vision of dreams, is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as a likeness of a face to a face.
That's meaning what? That's what dreams are actually. Your dream of white people loving black people is not real, but dreams are your memory of things. So what you've seen in your past life, not your past life, but in your past days, your remembrance, things you seen when you was 3 years old is it's a conglomerate of things that you've seen or experienced or heard of or felt, and your brain is just mimicking those things, and that's where your dreams come from, right? Which is why a lot of people will like watch SpongeBob or Family Guy after watching a scary movie, because they're hoping that their brain would just think about that when they go to sleep. In case you didn't understand why people do that, and not Jeepers Creepers, because if you think about Jeepers Creepers when you go to sleep, he might disappear in your dream and scare the hell out of you. But go ahead, keep going.
Verse 4 of an unclean thing that of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed?
Of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? Keep going.
And from that thing which is false, what truth can come?
That's the question. What is the answer?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing can be cleansed from an unclean thing. You can't take pork and clean it. You can't take the ideologies of the world and clean it. Nothing can be clean of an unclean thing. Precept. What's the precept?
Like it. Small, unclean.
Hmm?
No.
Come on. Whoever got it, come on.
I was gonna say Acts 10 and 28, but that's not it.
Matthew 7 and 17. Matthew 7 and I guess start at 18. Or do I want 17? Hold on. Start at verse 18.
17 and 18, sir?
No, 7 and 18.
7 and 18. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 18. A good tree cannot bear a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit.
A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. Keep going.
Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. You cannot clean the fruit that comes from an evil tree because it is inherently evil. And you cannot corrupt the tree that comes from the fruit that comes from a good tree because it is good. You can't corrupt the words of the Most High. You can't bastardize it. You understand? You can't make it into something that is evil because it is good inherently. But the words that come from your Christian pastor's mouth, those you cannot clean. They're inherently evil. The foundation of what it stands on is evil. But the words that come out of the mouth of Donald Trump is evil. Why? Because he's evil. His nation of people is evil. You can read that in the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, all the way down.
Yeah,
concerning him and his people. They are evil as it pertains to us. As it pertains to the condition of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, they are evil. As for their people, they're good. They're good. But for us, we should steer clear. You understand? Drop that. Let's finish the last scripture. We way over the time.
Come, verse 5. Divinations and soothsaying and dreams and they are vain.
Divinations, right? Soothsaying and dream and that are vain. Where we at against Salagi?
Ecclesiastes 34 and 5.
34 and 5. All right, read that again.
Divinations and soothsayings and dreams are vain.
Divinations, right? Divinations is what? Like the belief in the dead, right? Divinations and soothsayings and dreams are vain. Keep going.
Come. And the heart fancieth as a woman's heart in travail.
And the heart fancies. I'm Salagi. And the heart fancies as a woman's heart in travail. What does travail mean? It's painful. Right? A woman's heart that is in travail, she likes it. You understand? She likes anything that soothes her heart because she's in so much pain. That is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
Our heart is in travail. And so we love anything that soothes it, anything that comforts it. And what comforts it today? Donald Trump and his money. the hope that one day Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians will be equal to our oppressor, will be equal to America. But that hope is false, man. You understand? That hope has deceived many. Read verse 7. We'll end here.
Verse 7, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7. For dreams have deceived many.
For dreams have
failed.
Many. Yeah, that's it. For dreams have deceived many and they have failed. You understand? That put their trust in them. You put your trust in these dreams and this hope, and your people will fail, will fall because we trust in Donald Trump. We'll fall because we trust in Joe Biden. Because we trust in America, we'll fall. You understand? When we should trust in the Most High.
Right.
Trust in Christ.
Yeah,
we
right.
should trust in the Israelite School of UPK under Commander General Hana, because these are the men who teach Christ. These are the men who teach what the Most High wants to be taught. These are the men who don't care about your filthy lucre's sake. These men are the rulers of the nation of Israel. These generals and these captains and these officers, they rule this goddamn planet Earth, man. And that's who you should trust. You understand? Not no Geno Jennings and no Creflo Dollar, no TD Jakes. Them people, they're gonna lead us astray, man. They got dreams, man. They make you feel good.
Right.
But with that, man, we way over the time. I ain't gonna hold you too long. Is there any other any questions in the room? Any questions online, or any questions in the chat before we clip it up? If not, we're gonna go ahead and end the class there. Understand? Hey, shalom. Yabba Salaya. Before I do that, make sure everybody get ready for the Detroit Cookout. It's coming up August 1st through the 4th. It's up in the D. Make sure y'all get up there, get y'all arraignment in order, get everything together, man. You understand? Do not go vote for this presidential election. Don't allow this this assassination attempt or whatever the hell it was to make you go and do something that it has nothing to do with your people. That time you do some push-ups or something. I don't know. Now y'all do something with your time. Don't go and vote though. Be smarter than this, black man. Black, be smarter, really, black man. You tell them, them women you got in your house, they talking about go vote. You tell her to shut her goddamn mouth. Tell her shut up and go cook. You understand? You're going to go vote for another man in the house dirty. Go fix your house. Go clean up. Go do something. Do some push-ups. Make a goddamn smoothie or something. I don't know. But don't go and vote. That is the last thing to go do. And of course, a lot of you going to say, but what if Donald Trump gets in office because black people don't vote for Biden? Bitch, you act like we ain't dealt with George Bush.
Right.
We act like black people didn't survive George Washington Carter. Yeah, like we didn't survive Truman or the vagrancy laws or the black laws. Yeah, like we didn't survive Abraham Lincoln. Listen. Y'all get these sisters in order. You brothers, you get yourselves in order. Black people got to stop doing this nonsense with this voting crap, man. Stop with it. Right. Tell your family members, tell your aunts and your uncles, stop effing voting. They don't do nothing but waste your time and make you look like a fool. Tell them. Don't be afraid to tell them. If they got a problem, they can call us here at the Israelite School of UPK. We'll set them straight.
Yeah, right.
My name is Officer Yao Mak of the Israelite School of UPK. To all the brothers, Shalom, Yahweh Shemar Shabbat Thumb. To all the sisters, Yahweh Shemar Allah Thub, Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Lord, allow me to see y'all in Detroit. If not, I'm going to see y'all everywhere else that the UPK is at. Get with us, rock with us, class Monday through Friday. Shalom.